had to delay that start date by 1 week. As you are all aware, we had to temporarily close the offices of the Ministry and Department of Education, and so by extension the schools were closed, the public schools were closed for an additional week. And so this morning I'm here to bring you some updates just in case you may have missed, and of course some justification and clarification where possible. I want to say thank you to all of our school leaders, all of our teachers who continue to work behind the scenes. They've been working really hard, and I want to continue to commend them for their hard work, for their dedication, and of course for their commitment to our students and to education here on Nevis. As I said, we were closed for a few days, and the offices have now reopened, and so our schools will reopen on Monday, September 13th. We have our schools reopening. I will talk a bit about what that reopening would look like and share with you some of the schedules by school so that you have an idea just in case you may have missed it, and of course also provide you, as I said, with some of the justification as to why the approach was taken and how we intend to go forward. So September 13th will be our official start day of school, and I can just quickly go through some of our upcoming expected dates. We know that all schools will be closed on the public holiday, National Heroes Day, which is September 16th. September 20th, we have a holiday, as it is the Independence Holiday celebration. Please remember that September 19th, our Independence Day, is a Sunday. And then, this is not a holiday, however, I want you to start thinking about the fact that the 5th of October is World Teachers Day, and we want you to spend some time showing appreciation to our teachers, to your child's teacher or your children's teachers, as we celebrate World Teachers Day on October 5th. I know with so many things happening, it's easy for us to forget that some of these celebrations and activities are still at play. So World Teachers Day, celebration of our teachers on October 5th. Term 1 would end on December 3rd for students and December 10th for teachers. And our early release Wednesdays will continue. Public school students will be released on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Every Wednesday at 2 p.m. in term 1 to allow staff development, and preschool students should be picked up by 1:30. So we just wanted to remind you of those upcoming dates and activities, and of course to encourage you to continue to be patient and to work with us as we continue to share and information with you, and we continue to work towards the best interest of our students. All right, so let's start off a bit to talk about the approach for reopening of schools, and in the best interest of our children, and taking into consideration the current COVID-19 data and statistics, we have noticed that we have seen a consistent rise in cases for the last month or so, maybe a little bit over that. It has been consistent. You're looking at numbers closer to 10 daily. Sometimes you fall below, but closer to 10 daily, and sometimes over 10. And our recovery rate isn't as fast as we would like to see at the same time. And so we're looking at the data, and we have spent a considerable amount of time trying to determine what is the best approach for our students. So how do we continue the teaching learning process while simultaneously protecting our students and our teachers and our staff members at school? There are some things that we know about the virus. There are many things that we still don't know. There are some things that we know about the virus. For example, we are aware that the virus travels with individuals, so it can't move around by itself. It moves on or with individuals and individual interaction. We also know that crowds, mass gatherings, having many people in one space creates an increased likelihood of the spread of the virus. We know that physical distancing as much as possible helps to curb or decrease or mitigate the spread of the virus. We also know that it is important for us to wear our masks and to sanitize and make sure that we keep our surroundings as clean as possible, and that would help us to minimize the spread of the virus as well. So there are some things, as I said, that we are aware of based on the research and the information that has been shared with us over the last year and a half. This journey has been a journey for all of us, for all parties, and so we took those pieces of information that I shared with you a few minutes ago. We know that last year we started on our virtual learning, remote learning, and we've had several approaches in terms of several components in terms of how we approached the remote learning process, which included virtual learning as well as packets and activities for students. And so we've had those opportunities and interactions. Our students across the system have gotten exposure to the Microsoft Teams platform, and we are attempting to ensure that they get exposure to the whole Microsoft 365 suite. The students, as I said, and teachers have gotten exposure to those, and so as we continue to build their capacity, we also know that our teachers have longed for the interaction with our students, the physical interaction with our students. And so, as I said, in considering all of those variables, we came up with a plan for the first 2 weeks of school, and I will share that with you. And the idea is to, as I said, maintain a small number of limited number of persons within a school space, to also give students opportunities to continue their virtual interactions while at the same time allowing teachers to work with them, especially those who need the extra support to get to work with them. Some supports are not as easy to have in place in the virtual space, especially if students for some reason are unable to log on. And so with all of that in mind, we decided to embark on an alternate day schedule for all levels, where it allows us to control the number of students in a given space at a given time. An alternate day schedule means that one day you're in school and one day you're online, and that is only for the first 2 weeks of school. In the first instance, we will use the first week to monitor it, to see how it's working, and then the second week, and both of those weeks are short weeks. They are limited day weeks, they're 4-day weeks. So we're going to use those 8 days to ensure that the children are comfortable with the online platform. We're going to use those 8 days to ensure that the teachers can figure out how to keep the children who have not been in a structured setting, how to get them to reintegrate in a controlled environment, and also be able to start working on those skills and those gaps that we saw. Remember a few weeks ago we talked about the Meet the Teacher activity. The students were able to meet their teachers. The teachers were able to do diagnostic assessments, so they have an idea of where the gaps are. They have an idea, okay, so this particular child is struggling with identifying his or her letters. At a grade 6, this particular child is struggling with subject-verb agreement, or is struggling with some of the basic comprehension skills. And so now they have in their mind, okay, for these children we need to do this, for these children we need to do that, to make sure we get them to where they need to be. And so for the next 8 days we are going to have an alternate day in school, out of school setup, and it obtains for all levels. And so I know that it might be a lot difficult for some parents. Some parents may have some challenges with this method, but I want to assure all of you that we are only trying to protect and safeguard our children as well as our teachers. We're trying to make sure that when we reopen and have everybody at the school, that we are able to do so safely, and that the children understand the expectations and the teachers understand the expectations. And so I'm asking our parents to be very to continue to be patient with us and to help us and to collaborate well with us. I know that our schools have met with parents. We've had virtual PTA meetings explaining the approach, explaining the rationale, and we are also aware that it would not be something that every single person would be content with in terms of the setup. But I want you to understand the logic behind the setup is that we're trying to make sure that we don't end up having to close school within the first 4 days. Because if you do not properly start, if you don't put the measures in place, you can easily have a classroom spread within a day. You can easily have a school-wide spread within a week. And that is, we do not want to have to close parents. We don't want to have to close a school, because missing 2 days or missing having an alternate schedule where the students are unable to come for 4 days out of 8 is nothing compared to having to stay home 14 consecutive days, plus having to do all those tests and taking them to do all of that. And sometimes it goes over 14 days because you have to have 2 consecutive negative tests. We don't need for our students and our parents to have to go through extended periods of closure. So everything that we're doing is to help us not to have extended periods of closure, and to not to have our children having to go through, as I said, the gamut of tests, and it's not a very comfortable test, I dare say. It's not a comfortable test at all, and so we don't want our children to have to go through that. And so we want to make sure that we're solid and that we're confident, and when we face you, we can say to you, we did everything that we possibly could to make sure that we kept your children safe. As I said, there will be mixed emotions, mixed thoughts, and we have taken many of those into consideration, but at the end of the day, the goal is, I think, the same for all of us. Safety for your children, safety for all children, and safety for all members of staff. And so you already have your alternate day schedule, but I will share with you by school so that you have an idea of what to expect, just in case you missed the PTA meetings or you missed the notices, what to expect. So on Monday, Ivor Walters Primary School, the kindergarten students will come in, just the kindergarten students at Ivor Walters will come in on Monday, and they will have their orientation. They will have the run-of-mill of the entire school. Remember, they've never been to the school, and so they need the opportunity to navigate and to know where your out-of-bound areas are, and give the teachers that opportunity to work. On Tuesday, we have kindergarten, grades 3 and 6 in person, and grades 1, 4, 2, and 5 will be online. On Wednesday, kindergarten 1 and 4 in person, grades 3, 6, 2, and 5 online. On Friday, because remember Thursday is a holiday, on Friday, kindergarten, grade 2 and grade 5 will be in person. Grades 3, 6, 1, and 4 will be online. The following week, Monday is a holiday. The Tuesday, we have kindergarten, grades 3 and 6 in person. Grades 1, 4, 2, and 5 online. Wednesday, 22nd September, kindergarten, grades 1 and 4 in person, grades 3, 6, 2, and 5 online. On Thursday, we have, that's the 23rd of September, and we are still at Ivor Walters, kindergarten, grade 2 and 5 in person, grades 3, 6, 1, and 4 online. Friday, 24th September, we have kindergarten, grade 3 and 6 in person, grades 1, 4, 2, and 5 online. And so parents of students who are attending the Ivor Walters Primary School, please take note of that schedule. At the Joyston Library Primary School, on Monday, they have kindergarten, grade 2, 4, and 6 in person, and online they'll have grades 1, 3, and 5. On Tuesday, kindergarten, grades 1, 3, and 5 in person, grades 2, 4, and 6 online. Wednesday, kindergarten, grades 2, 4, and 6 in person, and grade 1, 3, and 5 online. Thursday, kindergarten, grade 1, 3, and 5 in person, grades 2, 4, and 6 online. And then the Friday, the Friday, we have kindergarten, grades 2, 4, and 6 in person, and grade 1, 3, and 5 online. And that is a consistent schedule, so every Monday, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, with the exception of the holidays. So it's a pattern, and as I said before, it is only this approach will only be used for the first 2 weeks. We'll spend the first 2 weeks observing, monitoring, reinforcing, reshaping, with the aim of having everybody back following that period. So the aim is not for this to continue forever. It is just for us to make sure that we are safely operating and in the best interest of our students. St. Thomas's Primary. So we have Monday, 13th September, the kindergarten students, grade 1, grade 4, and 6 will be in person. Grades 2, 3, and 5 will be online. Tuesday, we have kindergarten, grade 2, 3, and 5 in person, and grades 1, 4, and 6 online. Wednesday, kindergarten, grade 1, grade 4, and grade 6 in person, grade 2, 3, and 5 online. Thursday, of course, is a national holiday, and then we return on Friday with kindergarten, grades 1 and 2, 3, 4, 3, and 5 in person, and grades 4 and 6 will be online. The following Monday is Independence Day holiday, and so they'll go back on Tuesday. That's the 21st of September, with kindergarten, grade 1 and grade 4 and grade 6 in person, grades 2, 3, and 5 online. Wednesday, kindergarten, grade 2, grade 3, grade 5 in person, and grade 1, 4, and 6 online. And then Thursday, kindergarten, grade 1, grade 4, grade 6 in person, grades 2, 3, and 5 online. And then the final day for the rotation schedule, we'll have kindergarten, grades 1, 2, 3, and 5 in person, grades 4 and 6 online. And then by that following Monday, we'll be in a position to tell you what we need you to do to ensure that we have a safe reopening of our schools, with our students being able to come out and do so effectively. All right, for the VOJN primary school, for the first 2 weeks, we'll have kindergarten will be at school for the entire duration. Okay, kindergarten will come in on Monday, and their parents will be allowed to have some interaction. Teacher will guide them through the day, and they will practice how to leave, how to go to the bathroom, all of the procedures that they need to do, and be able to do so without having to interact with a lot of students running around. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, grades 1, 4, and 6 will come in, and they will join the students. And then on Wednesdays and Fridays, we will have grades 2 and 3 joining the kindergarten students. So that is the schedule for VOJN. And of course, as I said, our principals have had the opportunity to talk to parents, have field questions from parents and respond. And parents, this is only a short-term beginner startup plan. After those first 2 weeks, we should be able to have a handle on it with your support. Students should have been reintegrated. We do not want our students to lose sight of or to stop practicing their online activities, because we never know, and we want to always be prepared. And so this allows them to have that chance to be able to reintegrate and not have to stop cold turkey in the middle of doing completely physical days, not to have to stop cold turkey, that they could be able to do this as well. At any point, they can transition to the virtual space without any severe or grave challenges. So I will continue. Of course, we have gone through the schedules for some of our primary schools. And I will continue with the other primary schools and, of course, our secondary school schedules after we take a break. But I will continue to reiterate the rationale behind this, and I hope that you can see the rationale and can be appreciative of the effort to continue to protect your children. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back.
When VON vibrates, the whole Caribbean must shake.
860 AM, the powerhouse.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. An hour passes quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's youth on the go. Youth on the go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Department of Education, and I'm here with you every Saturday to share opportunities, activities, events, information, and of course, we're here with you on the eve of the reopening of schools here on Nevis, which had to be delayed by a week due to the closure of our main offices at the Ministry and Department of Education. However, we are here, we are ready to reopen, and we are doing a phased, somewhat hybrid, balanced reopening approach. And so I spent some time this morning explaining the rationale, and as I said, there are some parents who are a bit nervous about the reopening of schools and how we can, and are concerned about how we can protect students or try to protect students in a very fluid situation. And so we took your concerns into consideration, parents. We took our teachers' concerns into consideration, and we came up with an initial 2-week schedule that will help us to help all of our students and help our teachers as well to be able to transition into both the physical and online space. We want to continue with the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School, and at the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School there are some classes, grades 1, 3, and 6 will be online until the 17th of September. Grades 1, 3, and 6 will be online until the 17th of September, and so on September 13th, we'll have kindergarten and grade 5, 14th, kindergarten, grade 2, grade 4, 15th, grades kindergarten and 5, and the 17th, kindergarten and 5. During the week of September 20th and the 21st, we'll have kindergarten, grades 1, 3, and 6. September 22nd, kindergarten, grades 2, 4, and 5, 23rd, kindergarten, grades 1, 3, and 6, and on the 24th, we'll have kindergarten, grades 2, 4, and 5. All right, and so that's the schedule for the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School for the first 2 weeks. Once again, all students in grades 1, 3, and 6 will be online until September 17th. And then for the other students, kindergarten and grade 5, you'll be in person on Monday. On Tuesday, we'll have kindergarten, grade 2 and 4. On Wednesday, we'll have kindergarten and grade 5, and on the 17th, we'll have kindergarten and grade 5. The following week, we'll see on September 21st, kindergarten grade 1, 3, and 6, and we'll see on the 22nd, kindergarten grades 2, 4, and 5, and we'll rotate that. So the next day, the Wednesday, we'll have kindergarten grades 1, 3, and 6, and then, of course, on the last day for that week, we'll have kindergarten grades 2, 4, and 5. So that's the schedule for the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School. For the Charlestown Primary School, they will have a staggered reopening as well. Kindergarten will be in full from Monday, 13th September, and all other grades will, of course, engage in online learning via Microsoft Teams. Grades 2, 3, and 5 will attend school physically on the 14th, 21st, and 23rd, and will be online on the 15th, 17th, 22nd, and 24th. Remember at the beginning I said it was 4 days in each modality. Grades 1, 4, and 6 will attend school physically on the 15th, 17th, 22nd, and 24th, and will be online on the 14th, 21st, 23rd. They'll be on Microsoft Teams. In relation to our students at Cicely Brown Integrated School, they had their meeting as well yesterday. The parents met with the school personnel yesterday, and so they have their schedule ready. Some of their classes will be online, with the exception of the Coconut Palm class. Coconut Palm class will be in person. The other classes will be online, and the parents are aware of this. For the first week, they'll be online, and our students at Cicely Brown Integrated have been exposed to online learning from the first lockdown. I want to commend our teachers there. They have worked seriously. They've gone above and beyond. We know it's a very difficult group of students to have to engage with predominantly or entirely online, and the teachers have really worked to make sure that they're able to reach those students, that they're able to provide the parents with additional support in times when they're unable to do full class sessions with students. They've organized for individual sessions with the students, and providing support for the parents as well. So I want to commend the parents for working alongside the teachers, and I also want to commend the teachers for going above and beyond, especially with the other potential challenges which come with working with students with special needs, and the students have been trying to do their best while working there. So they will be online for the first 7 days, and with the exception of Coconut Palm, and Coconut Palm, that class will meet in person. As it relates to the secondary schools, I will take you through the plan for Charlestown Secondary first. So there's for Charlestown Secondary, they also have an alternate day schedule plan, and so on Monday they will have an orientation session, or they'll have students coming in person from 8:15 a.m. to 11:55 a.m. for Form 1, and from 1 p.m. to 3:15 p.m. for Form 2. Commencing Tuesday, September 14th, they will have in-person sessions for the entire day for Forms 3 and 4, and online sessions for Forms 1 and 2. On Wednesday, Forms 1 and 2 come in person, and Forms 3 and 4 remain online. Thursday is a public holiday, and on Friday, Forms 3 and 4 come in person, and Forms 1 and 2 remain online. The following week, Tuesday 21st, we'll have Forms 1 and 2 online on Tuesday 21st, and that's all day, and Forms 3 and 4 online all day. Wednesday, we'll have Forms 3 and 4 in person all day, and Forms 1 and 2 online all day. And then Thursday, we'll have Forms 1 and 2 in person all day, and 3 and 4 online all day, and then the final day for this week, for this time period, we'll have forms 3 and 4 in person all day, and forms 1 and 2 online all day for the duration of their classes. Students of Form 4 will meet in person all day. They will have all in-person classes, so they will continue as normal. They will be Form 5 students will be at school for the duration of the day. In relation to the Gingerland Secondary School, a schedule was also shared out with the parents and with during your PTA this week. And so there is an AM and PM schedule for the Gingerland Secondary School. So for each session, and school starts at 8:25 a.m. for the Gingerland Secondary School, and so they will have their shift system going, continuing or mirroring what they had for last school year. The morning shift will see forms 1 and 2. The afternoon shift will see forms 3 and 4. Form 5, Form 4A3, 2A4, and 3A4 will not be on shift. They will be at school full time. So let's go with that again. AM, forms 1 and 2, and they go from 8:25 to 11:30, and then 12:30 we will see the afternoon shift starting for forms 3 and 4, and the forms 5, 4A3, 2A4, and 3A4 will not be on shift. They will be at school full time. I know that for our preschools, the preschool teachers have shared out the schedule with our parents as well. We know that preschoolers are the hardest to find extra care and additional care and support for, but we also know our preschoolers are our students who are at highest risk in terms of their natural tendency to touch surfaces and have their hands in their faces, and having some challenges with separating. So naturally they're most vulnerable in many ways, but particularly they're most vulnerable in relation to contracting the virus. And so we want to make sure they cannot wear masks, and so we want to make sure that everything that we have in place is also protecting our students as well, our preschool students as well. So we want to let parents know that they can allow their preschoolers to have masks. A mask is a parent's choice. We recommend that we have one at least in the student's backpack. So if they have any close interactions or anything, the teacher can be able to slip on that mask for the students if they have to have any extremely close contact. But with cutting the number of students at the school in half, we are allowing them to get a sense of their surroundings and teaching them how to stay within certain spaces and certain boundaries without increasing their risks. I want to take this opportunity to ask parents to remember, if your children have any flu-like symptoms, please keep them at home. If they have any flu-like symptoms, please keep them at home. If they come to school and they have a runny nose, if they're coughing, if they have an elevated temperature or any flu-like symptoms, we will have to isolate them, and then we'll have to have them return home. Do not send your children who are sick to the schools on Monday or any day, because we know that sometimes we might shrug it off and say it's just a cold, but we know that a spread can easily happen in a school setting. We are aware of that, and so we want to ask you to be vigilant alongside us to be able to ensure that our children are as protected as possible, that our staff members are as protected as possible. And so we're asking you, if they have any flu-like symptoms, please have them remain at home. We're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll wrap up with our expectations for the reopening of schools and, of course, the way forward.
Sugar City St. Kitts, keep it sweet. Keep listening to Vaughn.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's Youth on the Go. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. With storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel. Welcome to another edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Department of Education, and we are here with you. We're sharing updates as it relates to the reopening of schools for the 2021-2022 academic year. And so just before the break, I started off by sharing with our parents, and this is across the entire system. I spoke initially to the preschool parents, but for the entire system, we want you to know that if your children are ill, if they have any flu-like symptoms, please make sure that you keep them at home, because we do not want any potential spread. Okay, we don't need any potential spread, and so we're asking you to keep them at home if they are exhibiting any flu-like symptoms. If you know that you have come into contact with a COVID positive case, or your child has come into contact with a COVID positive case and are part of a contact tracing process, please do not send your children to school. Some parents are saying, okay, we don't have it yet, or we want to make sure that we err on the side of caution. If you are part of a contact tracing and you are around your children, or the children living within your household, or if they were in contact with somebody who is COVID positive, ensure that the necessary contact tracing takes place. Alert your school's principal, alert your farm teacher, alert the necessary parties so that arrangements can be made for their academic well-being, but we do not want them to be physically in school. And of course, on some days, classes are totally virtual, so on those days, they're free to join us in instances where they have activities to do that have been posted online. They're free to complete those, but we're asking you, if you have come into contact with a COVID positive case, if you are COVID positive, because there's some parents who are COVID positive, their children are now part of the contact tracing process, and they're still thinking about sending them to school because school has reopened. We're asking you to keep them at home. I'm going to, before I continue with those guidelines, to go through the schedule for the Charlestown Secondary School one more time. I'm going to focus in on Form 1. Those students are new and parents might not be on EduPages yet, and so I'm going to go through the schedule for Form 1. On Monday, Form 1 comes in from 8:15 a.m. to 11:55 a.m. and then they return home. So parents, they come in from 8:15 to 11:55. They'll get their schedules. They'll have some activities that they have to take care of. They'll get their login credentials for Microsoft Teams for those who are not in the system before. Those who were in the system prior, those who are in grade 6 last year, they already have their credentials, they already have their login. It is not going to change. So if they were at Charlestown Primary grade 6, it's going to be the same login information. If they were at St. Thomas's Primary grade 6, it's the same login information. But we have some new students who are transferring in, and we want to make sure that we give them their login credentials as well. Some who are coming from overseas, who are from private institutions. So Monday from 8:15 to 11:55 a.m. Charlestown Secondary Form 1 will be in school in person. Okay, it will be just Form 1. Then Form 1 will continue to be, they'll be online on Tuesday all day, so they will not go to school physically on Tuesday. On Wednesday, they will be in person all day, so they'll come to school from 8:15 a.m. to 3:15 p.m.
I couldn't hear what you said.
On Wednesday, the first formers will be in person, and so they'll go to school all day. Thursday, there are no classes. Friday, the first formers will be online all day, so they will not physically go to school. The following week, our Monday is a holiday. On the Tuesday, the first formers are in person, so they come to school. On Wednesday, and that's the 22nd of September, the first formers are online, and then on Thursday the first formers are in person, and Friday they're online. So it's alternate days. Parents, they start they start in person. The first formers start in person on Monday, and every day after it's alternating. So it's online, in person first, online, in person, online, in person, online, in person, online. So it's just alternate days, and they're going all day. At Gingerland Secondary, we have forms 1 and 2 on the morning shift, and we have forms 3 and 4 on the afternoon shift for Gingerland Secondary. And I'm specifically speaking to the Form 1, since as I said, they're new and it's a new system for them. So Form 1, your morning shift takes you down from 8:25 to 11:30. Okay, from 8:25 to 11:30, that's your morning shift. And so every morning at Gingerland Secondary, students need to be seated at 8:25 and be out by 11:30. Okay, and at Charlestown Secondary, it's alternating days. I'm hoping that helps our first form parents, especially because, as I said, it's new. Same thing obtains for our first formers from Gingerland Secondary on Monday. When they go, they will get their login credentials, other orientation type activities, and get their class schedules, and so that they know which books they would need and that kind of thing. So that's what's happening for our schools this week. If you need any support, you can check the various schools' Facebook pages. Reach out to the teachers. We're trying to make sure that we have all of this information out for you. I know it's a lot of information, but as I said, I guess focusing on the ones that are specific for the information that's specific for your child's school or your children's schools. And if you need any support or assistance, please feel free to ask. Everything that we're doing, as I said, is in the hope that we can keep our schools open all year. We don't want to have a case where we have to close a school, even if we have to go on a break for a class. And there will be times when we may have to take a class virtual because, for example, if a teacher is COVID positive, the teacher might not be able to come in. And if we have too many teachers who are COVID positive and we can't find persons to fill in, we will have to revert for those classes online until the teachers are cleared. If we have an outbreak in a class, then we will have to revert to an online space for that class until we are cleared to return. So that is the plan for any possible outbreaks, any possible exposure. We will have the online option available all the time. Parents, it's here to stay, in essence, and so we don't want to forget it. It is not always the preferred means for everybody. Some of our children love it. Some of them absolutely love it because they are technology natives and they love being online, but it is not something that we can discard, especially if we don't want our children exposed to COVID-19. And so we've communicated this information with our teachers, and they are aware of the expectation. And so we will try, because sometimes some persons are asymptomatic, they don't have symptoms, they don't have severe symptoms, and they can continue to function. We've had teachers for various reasons, contact tracing, various reasons, who have not been able to have physical classes. Some of them are not COVID positive, but for contact, once you're in a contact tracing group, we ask you to just remain safe and stay home. And we've had teachers who have done that. They've done an exceptional job of continuing their classes and interactions with their students. Even this week, we had interactions with students. Teachers had interactions with students remotely. And so at the end of the day, we can't just drop what we already have. We have to continue to utilize the platform and encourage students to sign on. As we try to, we know that children are children by nature, that you expect them sometimes to forget to do things and that kind of thing. But we want to encourage them to, be a little bit more responsible, hold them a little bit more accountable at home as well as at school. And so we are hoping that this week would be a safe one, and that we do not end up with any major red flags. That is our hope, that we do not end up with any outbreaks or anything along that line, and that we can safely execute our duties, that we can continue to keep our children safe, and at the end of the day to keep our teachers safe, because they need to also be safe and healthy. Remember, I want to help to remind you of October 5th. October 5th is World Teachers Day, and teachers have been working really hard, parents, and so let's start thinking. We have about a little less than a month. Let's start thinking of how we can show some appreciation to our teachers. It doesn't have to be an expensive venture. I'm not asking you to spend large amounts of money. I know that everyone has their economic challenges, and so if we can just find a way to show our teachers that we appreciate them, we would greatly appreciate that as well from the department and ministry level. And so please start thinking about October 5th and how you can celebrate your child's teacher or your children's teachers as we celebrate that day when we recognize our teachers. If you are concerned, or if you have any further concerns about any protocols, any procedures that you're seeing, if you have recommendations for improvement, if there's something that you think can be done differently, you are free to make those recommendations. Please remember that we have to still monitor the traffic coming through our gates, and the number of students at school, at the number of parents in the school compound at any given time. And so please remember that if you need to have a conversation with your school's principal or teacher, we're asking you to make an appointment a minimum of 15 minutes before. We call in, check in to make sure that they are available to see you, because we won't be able to have parents roaming the school compound or having on any of those interactions that that can potentially expose our students. Parents are trusting us to keep their children safe, and we do not take that trust lightly. We want to do our very best to do that. We want to do our very best to keep our children safe, and so we are not going to take that lightly, and we want you to know that we know that we are partners in this. And so parents, your support is important. As the weekend passes, please remind your children about proper wearing of masks. Please remind your children about the sanitization and physical distancing and making good decisions. While we make those, we enforce those at school, we want you to ask you to help us as we help your children and reinforce those, and we're asking you to reinforce those processes and procedures at home as well. Thank you so much for your understanding. Parents, guardians, the general public, thank you for your understanding, and we appreciate you, and we will continue to make the best decisions, and the most informed decisions for all various parties and our various stakeholders, and we look forward to continuing this partnership and to growing and developing together. We look forward to a successful 2021-2022 academic year, and to our students being able to stay in school for the longest possible time, and of course for them to continue the teaching and learning process no matter what the situation. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your encouragement, and we look forward to continuing to serve you. Have a wonderful week. Whoop, whoop.
With all the power from the tower, this is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean.